So all of the internet for all of the people all the time means that we must smash that affordability barrier. And the Alliance for Affordable Internet, which the Web Foundation leads, is playing a key role in building consensus among local and global stakeholders on what is the roadmap to change. And GSMA and Facebook and the government of Mozambique and many others have all come together in the Alliance for Affordable Internet to try to catalyze the policy changes and the investments that are needed, both on the market side of the equation and on the public access side of the equation. And I very much agree with the panelists this morning that both of those are going to be necessary to reach all of the people with all of the internet.
Absolutely. As we begin this debate, I wanted to set a challenge for us in the room. How do we make this conversation around the internet freedom trend? It is our challenge today, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that we trend. The hashtag, in case you haven't seen it, is SIF15. You can also create many others if they are more catchy than that one. But that is our challenge, because we have to make sure that we are able to make it trend. Internet freedom, or you can go open, secure, free. I would imagine that's your stance. Open, secure, free. I love those words. Nice, simple, straightforward. Matthew, let me come to you. Your understanding of the minimums. One of the key issues she mentioned is affordability.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here, representing mobile operators, and coming back to the statistic you mentioned at the top of the debate, around 3.2 billion people with internet access. 2.6 billion of those people actually get it through mobile. So if you're going to have internet access all the time, it really needs to be personal, and therefore mobile really is the future of the internet, I think, to everybody. And particularly in developing markets. I think when it comes to affordability, one of the issues we work on is how mobile is perceived in many markets as a luxury. And there's a significant number of taxes put on mobile handsets, mobile services, because they're perceived as a luxury, when the debate we're having today is that mobile is anything but a luxury. It's an essential part of everyday life. So I think it's important that clearly there are many factors that go into the cost of mobile access, but in some markets, from the research we've done, tax can add up to 100% on top of the real cost of broadband access, and that's a really important issue which we continue to address with government and policymakers to make them understand that really mobile should just be taxed in the way that any other ordinary good or service is taxed. It shouldn't be considered a luxury. It shouldn't attract these extra taxes, because I know a lot of the affordability metrics are based around averages, but if you were to look at the median, then actually the impact on the real low-income groups is significantly greater.
But is that the role that you guys can only play?
Yes, it is, and we do.
Can you do more?
Well, absolutely we can do more, but we work very hard. We have a number of specific market tax studies going on right now. We're about to launch something in India. We've had some success in Ghana and Bangladesh this year already. We're continuing to work hard on engaging with the likes of the World Bank and the IMF to make sure that at every level, policymakers, regulators, finance ministers understand that taxing mobile is actually a negative both on economic development and social development in their countries. And that for some of them it's a brave decision to reduce those taxes, because sometimes in the short term they don't have another means or an obvious means to bridge the gap, but they have to have the confidence that in the longer term the net effect is going to be significantly positive.
In the first session that was held in the morning, one of the key issues that was debated was whether to make the right to the internet equal to the other rights. Is there a role for private companies through the GMSA Association to play, shall we call it, a developmental type role beyond profit?
I think there is, but perhaps as the provider of expertise and infrastructure, I think there's definitely more as an industry we can and are doing to find new ways of expanding coverage on a commercially sustainable basis. That often involves collaboration rather than direct competition, or it's a new form of competition in markets. Sometimes that's hard for the operators, sometimes it's actually hard for the regulators, because quite often the operators are willing to do it, but they're encumbered with licenses which prevent them from doing the collaboration that would unlock more coverage.
Yeah.
And so that's another issue that we look at. I think inevitably, certainly in developing markets, there's always going to be a final percentage of coverage that is never going to be commercially viable. And that's where we need to find new partnerships between public money, private sector expertise to unlock that last few percent.
Absolutely. Let's hear from a government